Good morning, students. So today we are going to start with the next chapter, that is chapter number 4, Python Programming Fundamentals. I can say that almost 95% of this chapter has been discussed through assignments. I will just revise the topics which will be covered in this chapter. What character set are used in Python? Then you remember in assignments there was a huge topic called tokens. I will be discussing that. So, and there will be one or two small topics regarding indentation and others. So this is predominantly this chapter. Main topic of this chapter is tokens and its types with examples. So you need to pay little attention. I again repeat, 95% of this chapter has been already discussed in the assignments given to you. This is a, you can say, theory based chapter on Python. So we will be able to finish it within 1 or 2 sessions. Okay. So let us first of all start Python programming fundamentals. Meaning of this chapter is, this chapter will acquaint you with what things are available in Python and what is their use with how to use them. Okay, we will see about data types that are available in Python. We will see about what kind of literals are there, what kind of numbers are there. So all basics of Python will be introduced to you in this chapter. Okay, so without wasting any time, let us start with Python character set. Now, what is the meaning of Python character set? These are, students, the set of characters which are allowed to be used in Python. Other than these characters, no other characters will be allowed from outside to be used in Python. Okay, so Python character set means those characters which are permissible to be used in Python. Let us see it quickly. Letters, capital A to Z, small a to z is allowed in Python. Numbers, all the numbers from 0 to 9 are allowed in Python. This is very important. Special symbols, plus, minus, product, that is multiplication, and this is divide. Star star, remember from 10th standard, star star will be called power. This is called forward slash is used for division. This is called backward slash, that can be also used for a new line. Set of round brackets, set of square brackets, set of curly brackets. You will know today what are the uses of these brackets. This is called floor division. Remember I discussed in the assignment what is the difference between division and floor division. Floor division will ignore the decimal part. Equal to, not equal to, double equal to is used in majorly conditioning, that is if. Less than, greater than, comma, full stop, very important. Single quotes, double quotes, triple quotes. Semi-comma, very important statement, means you can say character. Colon, exclamation, and this is which operator, students? This is not percentage, this is modulus operator which returns us the remainder. These are the main special symbols that are allowed in Python. Yes, white spaces are also allowed. Now what is the meaning of white space? Space is allowed. Another thing that will be coming in white space is enter. You can enter and that much space is allowed. So students, these are the available Python character set, means these are the characters permissible to be used in Python. Letters A to Z, capital and small, all the numbers from 0 to 9. Remember these special symbols. Now if you are using any other symbol than this, suppose you are using any symbol given on the keyboard which is not this, then Python will throw you an error. So these are the special symbols, and white spaces, that is space and enter, both are considered to be white space, so they are also permissible in Python. So you can pause the video and see it. A 1 mark question can be asked in exam. Note down any 10 special symbols that are permissible in Python, so you have to name. Okay, now students, let us see the next topic, the biggest topic of this chapter and by far the most important topic, that is tokens. Now Python program consists of many things. Okay, now many things means they can be variables, they can be conditions, they can be loops, they can be, you can say, if conditions, they can be constants. So we can say that a Python program is having many small parts. Okay, so what are tokens? Smallest unit of Python program can be called a token. Very easy to define. What is a token? Token is the smallest unit of a Python program. Now this smallest unit can be of 5 types. It can be a keyword, It can be an identifier, it can be literal, it can be operator, it can be punctuators. All these small units combine, and which will give us what? It will give us a Python program. Okay. So what are tokens? Tokens are the smallest unit of a Python program. Now we will discuss all these 5 subtypes of tokens in detail, but let us have a general outlook of all of them. Keywords. Reserved words in Python which we cannot use as variable names or identifiers can be called keywords. Now you will wonder, sir, what are keywords? Python reserves some words to itself. Okay, so those words can be called reserved words or keywords. Suppose I think in 10th standard you have used this condition, if condition. Okay, so if is a condition, so if is a reserved word. Similarly, else is also there with if. So else is a reserved word. So whenever we are using any identifier, so suppose we are declaring a variable, we cannot name like this. Say if is equal to 10. This is not possible. Why it is not possible? If is a reserved word in Python. Similarly, one more reserved word is there, true. True is a reserved word in Python. So while you can say declaring a variable, we cannot use the keyword true because it is an inbuilt keyword for Python. We cannot use it as an identifier. Second, identifiers. Students, you are declaring variables in Python. As of now, you are declaring variables only. So these variables are also called identifiers. Yes, you can in future coming into 11th standard and 12th standard, you will create functions also. But as of now, at your level, you are creating variables. So these variable namings are also called identifiers. Literals, we discussed in the assignment. There are multiple types of literals are there. There are numbers, there are strings, there are so many things that we will discuss in detail today. Operators, which are the operators allowed? They are assignment operators are there, relational operators are there, arithmetic operators are there. We will also see. And all the punctuators, that is comma, full stop, other things are also a part of these tokens. Okay. So what are tokens, students? Tokens are the smallest unit of a Python program. How many types of tokens are there? 5. Which are they? Keywords, identifiers, literals, then we have operators and punctuators. Okay. So what we will do? We will continue discussion of each of the types. So by the end of the completion of these types, almost the chapter will be over. So these are tokens. Okay, students. So let us see about keyword. As I spoke a few moments back, what are keywords? Keywords are reserved words that are reserved by Python. Why they are reserved? Each of the keywords have a special meaning and a special use. So what are keywords? Keywords are words which are used for a special meaning, and they are also reserved words which is reserved by Python. So we cannot use keywords for our own identifiers naming. We can use the keywords because each of the keywords have a special meaning. Now, as you can see on the board, and I think I gave an example that we cannot write like this, if is equal to 10, it is not possible. Okay, because why it is not possible? Because if is a keyword, we cannot use it to be a variable name. In the same way, let us say del equal to 15, it is not possible because del delete is a keyword. Okay, so as you can see, there are so many keywords available in Python. So I have written only some of them so that we can have a basic understanding. True, false, we are knowing Boolean values because we studied Boolean logic. True is 1, false is 0. None, we have studied in assignment, we will see today. And, as, assert, break we will study in the next chapter. Class we will study maybe in 12th standard. Again, break and continue we will study in the next chapter. Whenever we are defining function later on, we will use def, delete. This is used by us, if, else, elif. This finally, except, and maybe one more was there. Try, this we will use in 12th standard. Try, except, finally. Import is there. Global, for and while loop we will discuss in the next chapter, and one more keyword is there, in. So these are not all the keywords, these are some of the keywords, and it is okay if you do not remember the meaning of them. But just to throw light that these are keywords, and keywords are special words with special meanings in Python. Like if we say an example of these three. These three are keywords that we have already used in 10th standard. If, else, elif. Maybe in 10th standard we have used true and false, and is used always. Then again maybe in 10th standard we use this for loop. Okay, so these are the keywords that are available in Python. I again repeat, they are having special meaning and they are the reserved words. Okay students, so let us start with the next topic, that is identifiers. Okay, identifiers, what are identifiers? They are values by which any variable can be identified. Okay, they are simple, for our language at our level they are simple variable names. Okay, now let us we already discussed the rules, but let us have a throwback on what these rules are. This variable names or for functions names, or as we call identifier, should be a sequence of letters and digits. Letters what are allowed? Capital A to Z, small a to Z. What are the digits allowed? We know it very well. Digits allowed are 0 to 9, and letters allowed are capital A to Z and small a to Z. Must start with a letter. So suppose we are choosing a variable A1 equal to 100. This is right or wrong? This is right, because it is a sequence of letters and digits. But read the second rule. Must start with a letter. Suppose we are doing like this, 1A equal to 10. This is wrong. Okay, although it contains letters and digits, but read the rules. A variable name or an identifier should never start with a number. It should start with a letter. Okay, now third one, no space. Now many of you were doing like this. You remember you in 10th standard found out simple and compound interest. So many of you were means using the variable name. Say simple interest equal to 3 to 1. This is wrong, because space is not allowed. If you want to use a variable name like this, the only special character that is allowed for identifier is underscore. You can use like this, simple underscore interest. Do not use a space in between. Python will give you an error. Next one is very, very important. Uppercase and lowercase are totally different. Just see here. Say we are declaring a variable capital A equal to 20. We are declaring a variable small a equal to 10. You will feel that these are the same things, but remember students, we discussed capital A and small a are totally different. What were the decimal values? A was standing for 65 and small a was standing for 97. So capital and small a are different. Means variable is not, you can say, character recognizable. It is having different characters. Uppercase characters are different, lowercase characters are different. In normal English we will consider that capital A and small a are the same, but in Python capital and small have a different meaning, so they will have differentiation between them. So these two are not the same. Now as I spoke, we saw about the special case characters, but the only special case character that is allowed while identifier naming, it should be underscore. And one more point I missed out here, this identifier name should not be keywords. Like I discussed before, we cannot have else equal to 10. Okay, we cannot have elif equal to 20. These are wrong, because else and elif are keywords which are reserved by Python. One more thing, because we are discussing these identifiers, one more thing I would like to throw light on. We can have multiple assignments. Suppose we want like this, A equal to 10, B equal to 15 and C equal to 20. This is fine, this is nice. These are assignments in different lines. We can also have this assignment in a single line, like A comma B comma C is equal to 10 comma 15 comma 20. So this multiple assignment is also possible. So students, this was identifiers. Identifiers, you can say, have a special meaning. They generally refer to the name of variables. They generally refer to the name of functions. There are certain rules regarding identifiers. We have seen them. They should be a sequence of letters and digits. Must never start with any digit. And we should not use white spaces or spaces in between. The only special character allowed is underscore, and as we saw, lower and uppercase characters are actually different. So in this video for tokens, we have discussed two parts. The first two parts, that is keywords and identifiers. Remaining three parts, that is literals operators and punctuators we will discuss in the next video. So that will be all from me. Thank you and have a nice day.